friends, I'm Sam and welcome back to another bookish video. Today we're going to be talking about cozy books for fall. Spooky season is over, so I'm trying to stay away from the spooky books. However, that being said, there are a ton of cozy fall books that just have all the fall vibes and none of the spookiness of Halloween. So this time of year is such a weird time of year. It's past Halloween, but it's too early for Christmas. There's just a lot going on and yet not enough going on at the same time. I'm just going to give you some fall cozy book recommendations if you're wanting some fall vibes. So the first recommendation is going to be Truly Madly Sheeply by Heather Vogel Frederick. And this is about a girl named Truly whose family owns a bookshop in rural New England. It's kind of a cozy mystery series. I think this is number one. It might not be number one. But this book is part of a series and they're all like cozy mysteries. And now they're middle grade, so they're not going to be like murder mysteries, just kind of like Scooby-Doo mysteries. In this particular one, Truly's aunt is getting married and buys a sheep farm, and they go on their honeymoon and something happens at the sheep farm and Truly has to solve the mystery before her aunt gets back from her honeymoon. And it's just absolutely adorable with all the fall vibes. I think there's a pumpkin throwing contest. Like, it's just adorable. The next recommendation is going to be Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. And if you have not read this book, what are you doing with your life? Absolutely cannot recommend it enough. It's about an orc. Think of like Dungeons and Dragons mixed with a coffee shop, okay? It's about an orc who tries coffee, loves it, and decides that she wants to give up being a mercenary and open up a coffee shop. So she has to introduce this entire town to coffee because they've never heard of it before. And then baked goods follow and music, and it's the process of her opening a coffee shop like we would think of a coffee shop today. And I swear, when I say it like that, it does not sound like such a good book, but I promise it really is. So this is Profusion Blush Hour Liquid Blush in Mai Tai. So we're going to give it a try, and I'm only going to do one pump because I don't know how it's going to look. It blends very well. Okay, the next recommendation is Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman. And again, last year was my first time reading it, and I plan to reread it every fall. About witches, yes, but really, honestly, it's more about sisterly bonds and family connections and like how you can't go through this world alone. The next recommendation is Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell, and you have heard me raving about this one recently. Again, it's something that you've just got to read every year. It is so dang cute. It's about some friends who work at a pumpkin patch, and this is their last year working together at the pumpkin patch before they go away to college. One of them decides to let his crush know how he feels, and so the book is about them going around the pumpkin patch trying to find her before it's too late. The next recommendation is Death Overdue by Alison Brooke, and this was in my October wrap-up. It's about a librarian who's having to solve a mystery with the help of another librarian who, oh, by the way, she's a ghost. it's so cutesy. Like, what more could you want? And there is some romance, but not a lot of spice. If you're not a spice fan, I think this is perfect. The next recommendation, and I'm putting it on here because although I didn't like it, I know a lot of people did, so whatever. But that is going to be The Bake Shop at Pumpkin and Spice. Again, I did not enjoy this book, and if you did, great, that's fine. It wasn't for me. However, if you can get past the icky insta-love, it definitely has a lot of cozy fall vibes. A lot of cozy fall romance. So if that's your thing, you might be one of the ones that would like it. The next recommendation, okay, these next two recommendations, I'm going to put a caveat that I have not read these books yet. They are on my TBR, but let's be honest, I have like 2,000 books on my TBR, so I plan to get to them eventually. They are Given Our History by Kristen J. Miller. And from what I gather, it's about two professors in this little college town becoming enemies to lovers. And I could be wrong, but it's something like that. So definitely some academia vibes, some fall vibes, and some romance. So, you know, what's not to love? The other one I heard Bookables recommend, Catch and Keep by Erin Hahn. And that is about a man who has an autistic son, and this girl moves to town and kind of falls in love with the autistic son and just adores him, and she's truly wanting to learn more about him and how to help him and be a part of his life. And so the father falls in love with her because she cares so much about his son. The next book is The Diviners by Libba Bray. This was set in the 1920s, and it's about a group of teens who find they have supernatural abilities. Through the book, they come to find each other. And this series got a lot of hype, and I can understand it. It was good. I didn't read the whole series. I felt like the first book was enough. It was good. I didn't feel like I should keep on with the series. The next recommendation is the Lore series by Erin Mankey. And if you don't have this on your podcast, you absolutely need to. The Lore podcast is amazing. It's historical, supernatural, spooky, fact-based. It's such a good podcast. But this book is about some of the stories from his podcast, and he has a book about places and a book about people, and so it's broken up like that. But the Lore series, if you like maybe cozy spooky, kind of like, and I hate to say Scooby-Doo, but like kind of that vibe where it's spooky but not really, you might like the Lore series. I don't think I want to do eyeliner because I'm going to church. Let me do brow tint. Okay, the next recommendation is 9 Liars by Maureen Johnson. Maureen Johnson, she did the Truly Devious series. It's about a group of friends from college, and one of them dies one night, and the main character is trying to figure out what happened and who done it. The next recommendation is a twofer. And that is going to be the Goosebumps and the Fear Street series by R.L. Stine. Yes, I could do this for Halloween too, and I did. But more than that, it's just the nostalgic fall in the 90s vibes to me. I read this series when I was a kid, so to me it's more nostalgic than Halloween. But I love it. I can't get enough of it. It's so good. The next cozy fall recommendation is The Vampire Knitting Club by Nancy Warren. And this sounds like it would be Halloween, but trust me when I say it is definitely more cozy fall than it is Halloween. A girl goes to her grandmother's knitting shop only to discover her dead body, and she has to solve the murder with the help of her grandmother's knitting club, who by the way, it's just a group of vampires that live under the shop. The next recommendation is going to be Long Live the Pumpkin Queen by Shay Earnshaw. And again, this is the official, unofficial sequel to The Nightmare Before Christmas. I'll be honest, it's not as good as Nightmare Before Christmas, but what is? I mean, seriously, that movie was chef's kiss. How do you top that? But Shay Earnshaw does her best, and it is a good book, and all I'm going to say, no spoilers, but you get to meet her parents. And it's adorable. That's all that I'm going to say. The very last recommendation is A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking by T. Kingfisher. And T. Kingfisher has written a lot of books like mystery and horror books. Really, they have a lot of H.P. Lovecraft vibes. They're okay. This one is a YA fantasy book about a witch whose real only power is that she can bring the things that she bakes to life. She has to use her baked confections in a war to save her kingdom. And it is just as funny as it sounds. I loved it. I guess I'm gonna go with these silver studs. This is the final look. Thank you for watching my fall cozy book recommendations. And if you have any fall cozy recommendations, leave them in the comments below. This time of year, I'm looking for all the cozy fall recommendations because spooky season is over, but it's too early for Christmas, so help a girl out. And if you found one good recommendation, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.